What's going on, fellas? It's a different environment today, but today I got up this morning, I hit the gym, and right now I'm at a lounge just working on some things. But as I'm working, a topic came to mind, and I kind of wanted to get it off my chest and talk to you guys about it. Fellas, you gotta understand that you get out what you put in. There's no in between with this shit. A lot of men, they spend their entire lives playing the fence. They talk about what they want, right? They talk about their plans. They set their goals. They buy books. They watch motivational videos. They tell everybody what they're going to do. But when it's time to actually commit, they hesitate. They keep one foot in and one foot out. That's why most men never get anywhere. See, fellas, when you decide that you want to commit to something, or you want to obtain something that you've never had before, you have to understand something. Most of the people around you have already given up on their goals. But now, in June, 9 out of 10 men have already gone back on their old habits. But just because they've given up on their goals, that doesn't mean that they're bad people. That doesn't mean you can't still love them. But at some point in their life, they've accepted the bare minimum. They've gotten comfortable with their situation, and they've stepped down. And when people step down, they start convincing themselves that the average lifestyle and the average habits and freestyle in life, that shit is just enough. But the problem lies where when you try to go somewhere that those people have never been, their mindset then becomes dangerous to your future. Because every time you try to stand up, they're gonna be there to remind you why sitting down is so much easier. Think about this, fellas. Imagine 100 people around you, right? You're in a room full of 100 people, and all of you guys are taking a knee, right? You guys are kneeling down. You guys are on the floor just kneeling down. And when you guys are kneeled down, everybody sees the same thing. Everybody has the same perspective. But now imagine when you actually stand up. Suddenly your vision changes from everybody else that's in the room. You can see further, right? You start noticing opportunities that maybe they didn't. You start noticing problems that nobody else really sees. You start noticing obstacles that nobody else in the room sees. And that's where most people quit. Because the moment that you stand up and you rise above the crowd, you become responsible for what you see. The higher you go, the more challenges appear. I spoke about it on my last video, fellas. The closer you get to your goals, the harder those tests become. The badder the chicks get. The junk food start tasting better. That liquor start tasting better. It's like the higher you go, the more responsibility appears in front of you. The higher you go, the more risks appear in front of you. And that's why complacency seems safe. But fellas, most men, they're not complacent because they're lazy. They're complacent because they're scared. They're scared of failure. They're scared of criticism. They're scared of responsibility. They're scared to leave their comfort zone and see what they're actually capable of. So they step back down, right? They return to the crowd. They return to comfort. They return to being average. But here's the problem, fellas. You can't stand up and sit down at the same time. So it's either you stand up and you commit to being more, or you sit the fuck down and accept staying average. There's no middle ground with this shit. Fellas, when I started my YouTube journey, right, and I started posting about self-development, discipline, how I came from rock bottom to become the man that I am today. When I decided to turn this camera on and speak about my journey and decided to help men that are in the same position that I used to be, I've had people try to discourage me. I've had somebody tell me directly, and I quote, "Niggas waited till they was 30 to start a YouTube channel." Now, fellas, think about that statement. What exactly did that person expect me to do with that information? Was I supposed to quit? Was I supposed to say, you know what? You're right. Was I supposed to stop posting? Delete my channel? Give up on something that I wanted to build? Nah. What that really was projection. That wasn't advice. That was their insecurity within themselves. That was somebody else trying to place their limitations onto me. Because somebody will always try to place their limitations on you, because people will always try to convince you that you can't do something when they don't have the courage to do that shit themselves. And the funny thing about that is, fellas, the same person who told me that, I could bet my last dollar that that person watches my channel. Because, fellas, what you gotta understand is, a lot of people don't wanna see you succeed. They wanna see if you'll quit. Fellas, no matter how much love you get, no matter how much support you get, there are still people out there who are watching you to see if you fold. Not necessarily because they hate you, but they're watching you to see if their discouragement worked. They're watching to see if the doubt worked. They're trying to see if you'll become another person that started something and quit and never finish. Imagine if I would have listened, fellas. There would be no channel. There would be no community. There wouldn't be 1,700 subscribers. There would be no Hemtier University, no additional streams of income, no impact, no videos helping you guys become better, none of it. And the reason why that discouragement didn't work is because I was already 100% committed. I was already standing up on what the fuck I knew I was gonna do. But to say if I was the type of guy that would have been halfway committed, that discouragement probably would have worked. Negative words weigh 10 times more than the positive, especially when you're uncertain. That's why I tell men all the time, if you're not 100% committed on what the fuck you wanna do, just don't even bother wasting your time. Because the world is gonna test you. Your family's gonna test you. Your friends is gonna test you. Life is gonna test you. And if you don't know what you want, somebody else is gonna decide that shit for you. And this is another thing, fellas. If you hang around people who accept the bare minimum, eventually you'll start to accept that shit too. Here are some of the 5 people that you hang around, that you listen to, whether it's podcasts, whether it's music, whatever the case may be. And that's not just some saying, fellas, that's reality. If everybody else around you is comfortable, you're gonna become comfortable. If everybody else around you avoids risk, you're gonna avoid risk. If everybody else around you settles, you're gonna settle. Your environment, the people you listen to, the people you hang around, is programming you whether you know it or not. That's why some people, they'll get upset or insecure when they start seeing you change. That's why people say things like, why you starting YouTube at your age? Why would you pay thousands of dollars for a mentor? Why would you start a business? Why are you waking up so early? Because those decisions scare them. Those are the decisions that you've made to grow yourself that they knew that they wouldn't make for themselves. Those are the commitments that you've made that they know that they wouldn't make for themselves. Those are the risks that you take and the decisions that you make that they know that they're not committed to make for themselves. And the people who are scared to take risks for themselves will always try to talk you out of taking risks for yourself. Not because it's wrong, but more so because it makes them uncomfortable. I read a quote one time that said, I turn my weaknesses into strengths and my strengths into weaknesses. Most weaknesses get exposed through failure. The problem that we have, fellas, is most people are scared to fail. So a lot of people are out here not even knowing what their weaknesses actually are. They don't even know what to fix. When you're aware of your weaknesses, you begin to manage them. You begin to plan for them. You're able to transfer them into tools. Let's take content creation, for example, right? I think about things that could destroy my channel. Getting lazy, right? Not wanting to edit, shoot a video, script. I think about losing momentum. I think about like, what if my confidence was depending on the view count of each video? I think about, what about the money that I'm making for my channel? What if I just fumble it? Those are all weaknesses, fellas. But because I think about them now, I could build a system to prevent those. And when you prepare for your weaknesses, those are the things that actually become your strengths. A lot of y'all watch videos like this. You guys read books. A lot of you guys listen to podcasts. And then you guys say that the information is repetitive, right? There's some of you that probably read the same books I've read, or even may have read more books than I've read. And you're probably saying, like, the information is just the same. And honestly, maybe it is. But the problem isn't the information, fellas. The problem is the lack of action. Because information, just because you have information doesn't change you. Action is what changes people. I could sit in the bed all day and watch motivational videos. I could think about success. I could talk about success. I could dream about success. But what separates me from the guy who woke up today and shot a video, who scripted a video, who edited a video, who posted a video? The difference between me and that guy is the actions. He took action while I just thought about it, while I just dreamed about it, while I just dwelled on it. The actions is what separated us, not our feelings, not our intentions, straight action. One of Mike Tyson's trainers, his old trainer, once said, what's the difference between a hero and a coward? And the answer is simple, fellas. There's no difference between a hero and somebody who's scared to be a hero. The only difference is the action that's taken. A hero takes action that identifies him as a hero, and a coward takes action that identifies him as a coward. That's it. Not their feelings, not their thoughts, but their actions. And that's why, fellas, I become numb to my feelings. I don't care how I feel. While everybody's out watching the NBA Finals, catching up on Love Island, right? Watching their favorite show on Netflix, relaxing. Everybody doing that. And that's cool. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But for me, I want Hemptier University to grow. I want the 2,000 subscribers. I want YouTube to replace my 9-to-5 income. So guess what? I can't think about how I feel because I know I have work to do, whether I feel like it or not. Because when I look at my whiteboard at the end of the day and look at my power list and what got completed, I don't see feelings. I see actions. What got done versus what didn't. My results don't care about how tired I was that day, that week, that month, that year. My goals don't care about how motivated I felt. The result of my successes doesn't care about the excuses that I have made up, because motivation is temporary. We all know this. Motivation, it comes and it goes. Some days you'll have it, some days you won't. But that's why discipline will always win. Both choices are hard. Waking up at 4:45 a.m. every morning is hard. But it's also hard living with regret, knowing what could have been or what you could have achieved if you did do it as well. It's hard sacrificing today, but it's also hard staying broke. It's hard building something, but it's also hard spending your life wondering what could have been. So you gotta choose your heart, fellas, because either way you're gonna suffer. The difference is one type of suffering actually leads you somewhere, while the other one doesn't. Too many men let their emotions decide their actions, and that's why they stay stuck. If you only work when you feel like it, you'll never accomplish anything, because feelings, just like motivation, it comes and it goes. But the opportunity to act is always gonna be there. So the question is simple, fellas, do you want it or not? Because if you don't know the answer, your actions are gonna expose the answer for you. Too many people spend their entire life playing the fence. 1 foot in, 1 foot out. They talk about the business they're gonna start, the weight that they're gonna lose, the money that they're gonna make, the life they're gonna build. But when it's time to commit, they hesitate. So fellas, if you don't take nothing else from this video, stop thinking about things, right? Stop dwelling on it, right? Stop waiting for the perfect moment. You gotta take action and pay attention to your environment. If you're hanging around people who are lazy, if you're hanging around people who, you know, if you're hanging around people that want to stay nailed down and settle, you're gonna have to separate yourself from those people in order for yourself to build, because all they're gonna do is slow you up or bring you down with them. It may be harsh, it may be hard to do, but that's the honest truth. While I was sitting here working, guys, like my phone blowing up. People want me to pop out to day parties, pool parties, but I have shit on my whiteboard that I need to accomplish before I do anything. I don't have time to waste. I don't have energy to waste on things that's not helping me reach my 2,000 subscribers. That's not helping me build HTU, but it's the sacrifice. And I know you guys are, you know, scared of losing friends or, you know, whatever the case may be, but if they really your friend, they'll understand that right now you're in grind mode. This is the 0 to 31 degrees that we spoke about. You can chill with them when you reach that 32 degrees and your ice start to melt. As of right now, I don't have no more time to waste, fellas. We in the 6th month of the year. So fellas, like always, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. And if you're ready to make that commitment to jump in the field, to become him, to become the best version of yourself, to help you build the routines and the systems so you can become the man that you're supposed to be, then click the link in the description below. Book a call and we'll see if you're a good fit. But fellas, this shit is not for everybody. Summertime is coming up and you need the discipline now more than ever. So if you're not ready to change your life and commit, don't even bother. But if you are, fellas, understand that it's not just you on this journey, it's us. We have no more time to waste, fellas. It's time to perform.